Hello, wonderful team here on the streaming team in Silkeborg, Oasekirke. I have some minor updates for you who might be relevant to see here, else I'll show them when we are together at a service. All right, first of all, the controller have now been mounted over here. And if you haven't seen, we have put this old camera 1 on this video head. It will be nice enough with a box behind for cables, but it is set up so you can power it on the back. I recommend to power it off after each operation. You can see on the red lights it's turned on. It's a motor, so it can go wild and damage the cables, so I recommend to turn it off after use. But no video now for camera 5, so if I press this button, maybe you can hear in the background the camera is turning on, and now I have a picture. So the remote only needs to be turned on if I will adjust the picture. I can do that by tilting the camera up or down. I can move it to the sides as well. Left and right is inverted on it. I will probably try to fix that later. And you also have zoom down here to zoom in and out to change your framing of the camera. So that's pretty simple. You can't turn it off by this button, but it turns off when you power off the main sockets on the lower row here in the streaming cabin we have here. All right, so that's an update on camera 5. The cables here for the big camera we have used as camera 5 are actually taken out of use currently. At a later point, it will be possible to connect the camera again. I can do that on request, but for now, I've used the wires for camera 5 to have this easier setup for our altar cam. All right, we have an issue that the controller here is freezing. I'm investigating that and it will be solved. So what you could see is if you press the buttons here, nothing happens. But if you look at the screen, something happens. If that happens to you, first of all, I'm sorry, I will get it fixed down the road, but you can just unplug this black connector and then put it in again, wait half a minute, and it's ready and going. Sorry for the inconvenience. All right, other minor updates, it's not that huge, but is in this corner, you only see the small cameras now. And I have taken the camera 4 from earlier, you know that, with the battery on the back, and put that on a tripod, a small tripod, so we can use that for putting on the stage. You only need to put a power supply on these two cables, power on the camera, put on the battery, power it on, and you're going. So that's what I've been used for drum cams and so on. For my last services, it can of course be put on wheels again if we like it to. I just find it more efficient to use the PTZ cameras when I'm operating it. And then the DSLR camera have finally got a new cable, so that's working again. And I have also made that wireless. It might look a bit messy down here, but if you connect the power to the transmitter and the power to the white cable, these two, then you can use this camera wirelessly as well. There's a USB more here. It doesn't need to be connected. That's just for the tally lamp. You could use 2 power banks. If you can't remember which it should be, then just power all of them by placing 2 power banks. And then the camera is possible to turn on here, as we've done in the past, and press the trigger button and you can see the screen and press OK, adjust your picture. All right, so in that sense, we are now possible to use both wireless systems. We know this old system sometimes that have dropouts, but it depends how the 5G is operating in the area, and currently we have no issues, so that might be fine. I've connected that as camera 3 over here. So 1 is the camera on the pedestal, who's now mounted at the loft, at the ceiling. Number 2 is the camera at the pillow as before. Number 3 is the old wireless camera, the DSLR camera, and that is, just as you know, the wiring, if you find it relevant, that is wired to this box, the receiver, placed here. That's camera 3. Camera 4, let's just take that. That is the receiver sitting up here. And both of this is powering on when billed is turned on here with the video switcher and the computer for the lyrics. Yeah, that was camera 4. Camera 5, we have covered. That is the altar camera. You can turn on and operate from over here. And please turn it off. It's not the picture you're turning off, but just the pan tilt head. So now you can't adjust these things. You can still operate zoom, but it's only the pan tilt head. So if you push it by an accident, or if your bottle falls over it, it wouldn't change the framing and potentially damage the cables. So I recommend turning it off while not in operation on the PT. A PT, pan and tilt. So that's camera 5. And camera 6 is, as in the past, the camera under the screen you can use for tracking. And we have more videos on that and could do even more in the future. Alright, so that was the update for today. There's more great stuff coming, but this is where it starts. Have a nice day and see you around.